meat of choice is turkey. We only eat kosher in this house, so we don't eat pork. I'm actually trying to move away from meat, but for now, since it's only I who's moving away from meat, my husband and my son are not. So since this is really for them, they will have their choice of meat, which they wanted turkey sausage. Turkey kebab. Kielbasa. Turkey kielbasa. There it goes. So you can cut it in any way you would like. At any such way you would like. Okay? But for me, I am going to cut them this way. It makes the frying process a little easier. Yes, I do fry it a bit. I don't put it in there without it being fried a little bit. Reason for it, it's meat. It's been in the fridge, cold. Just for the sake of bacteria, it's going to be cooked. Well, fried a bit. Excuse my son, he is hungry and watching something on the Kindle, so most likely something changed. Welcome to the life of a 4-year-old. But okay, after all this is cut up, we're basically gonna prepare the oil. All right, so here we are heating it up, heating the pot. So it's gonna be hot. We're using this oil as mentioned. So we're bringing everything over. Yes. The vegetables goes after the meat. I'll put the meat first, fry it down. Then I'm going to put the onions. And then I'm going to put some garlic and the bell peppers. So then in that order. For the sake of the fact that your garlic actually cooks pretty quick. And the bell peppers, I don't like it too soggy, so we're gonna work on keeping it with a little bit of crunch. Okay, as the oil gets hot here, yeah, it's getting hot. It's getting hot. Let me see. Yep, right where we want it to be. Please make sure you wash your hands before you cook. Always, always, always. Thoroughly. Thoroughly. I usually cook this in my copper pot, because it really doesn't stick, but at this moment I do not have, it's already being occupied with another meal that was cooked a couple of days ago. The heat is on medium, or if you have numbers, it's between the 4 and the 6. Now I'm adding the onion. Don't worry, the onion is gonna cook down. It's gonna become translucent. So it looks like there's a lot. It really is not. But I love my pasta with a lot of stuff in there. Adding a little water just to remove all the goodness in the bottom. Add a little bit of water. This tastes really, smells real good. Okay, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of garlic. Looks a lot, but needed in pasta. The bell peppers, if you want to put more, you can. I think I might add a few more. Yeah. There it goes. Okay. The onions have become very translucent. Now, I'm not going to add too much salt because if anyone ever had turkey kielbasa, it's actually it has a good amount of salt. So we are not going to add much salt, but we are going to splash it with a little bit of lemon juice. Put I'll put a 1/2 tablespoon of pepper. Now, we usually, in the island household, we usually use Tabasco, but I don't have any right now. So we're gonna just use this regular Giant Eagle hot sauce. It'll do the trick, but it won't be hot or spicy, should I say. I would say a 1/2 tablespoon would be just fine, especially if you like it very spicy. Then I say, hey, have fun. Have fun with it. Now, as you can see, everything is calming down. Let me bring it a little closer. Okay. Now what we're going to add here is 1/2 of cream cheese. This is a Philadelphia cream cheese. Sounds crazy, but believe me, before you add that sauce, to make it very creamy cheesy, I'll say do this. But we're not using a cheesy sauce. We're really just going to use a red pasta sauce. This just adds cream to the sauce and a little bit more flavor. And this way you don't really need to add so much spices. Don't get me wrong, we do. I'm about to add a little bit of curry right now. Now, I try to steer away from salt. So any herbal spices, curry or whatnot is like prime. And the reason I put it at the bottom of the pot is so that it can cook a little bit. So this is the pasta sauce that we're using. I got it from Aldi's. This is the organic tomato and basil. We will be adding some bay leaves. So we're adding this sauce in there. We're going to taste it to make sure it has, after you pour it of course, it has what you're looking for in regards to flavor. We are going to add more. This is just to mix in properly. The cream cheese is really going to get this sauce to stay creamy and not just really just saucy, but creamy. You don't have to add the cream cheese. That's just in my favor in regards to adding it. We're also going to add just a little bit of water, and the reason for water, you need it to be a little bit liquidy so that it can cook the pasta. So that's why you have to make sure it has enough flavor. So when you add the water, it's not going to dilute the spices that you have placed in that sauce. So right now, Haitian style. Okay. Just a little bit of salt. I'm putting just 1 teaspoon of salt. And a cup of water. You're going to put the heat on high because you're going to bring it to a boil. When it comes to a boil, taste it now to make sure after you added the water it didn't remove any flavor from the sauce. Perfect. We're going to let it go to a boil. Before we do that, we're going to add 2 bay leaves. A smidget of cinnamon, okay? Whenever I use curry, I always add a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg. There's something about those combinations that kicks the flavor of any sauce that you do, okay? So everything congeal and mix and just come together in the pot. And the reason I don't boil the pasta first is because this pasta actually cooks pretty well. So it looks like I'm gonna add just another cup of water. It's getting thick. So eye it out to make sure it has enough of what you need. Stir it a bit, stir it a bit, stir it a bit, stir it a bit. I would add spinach, but we are going to wait closer to the end, not right now. The pasta's in there cooking. It really doesn't take long for spinach to cook down. And that is starting to boil, so now we're going to add the pasta. It's actually 2 different pastas I'm adding since I had a little bit left over of the herbal version of this. This one spinach more like herbal. Okay. And like I said, you can boil the pasta first, and it's just that I really want the pasta to pick up the flavor of this sauce that we made for it. So that's why we needed to make sure it had enough liquid to cook. Because if it's thick, it takes longer to, if the sauce is too thick, it takes the pasta much longer to cook. Okay. So what we're gonna do here, actually, going to cover it up. Bring the heat down to medium. Make sure everything is in. Cover it up. And in about 3 to 5 minutes, you'll be able to uncover it. Okay, now we're about to remove the cover. It's a bit hot. Ooh. So as you can see, it's a little messy here. Brought down the heat. So now, as you can see, I have the spinach, organic baby spinach. All we're going to do is just add a few handfuls. It's going to look a lot, but it's not, because as you know, spinach withers after you cook it down. It's going to look like you didn't really put anything in there. Now while I cook, I actually like to clean as well. So I'll be wiping down the stove. So that we have less work to do when everything is all done. Okay. Here in the bowl here. Mix it a bit. See, now you see the sauce is still in there, but it's not overpowering. So it's not like you're eating some kind of pasta soup. But it's enough where you can slurp. So leave it for a few more minutes. We're going to see if it's cooked. Yep, a few more minutes. I'm going to cover it. Leave it for a few more minutes, and another 5 minutes or so. And we'll be back. Now here is the final product. I'm telling you, this actually tastes off the hook. I wish I can just put it through this screen and so that you can taste it. It actually really tastes good. The cream cheese kept the sauce very creamy, not dry or too liquidy. The pasta's perfectly al dente, really cooked. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There will be more to come. I will be putting some of our Caribbean Haitian type of dishes with a little twist of healthiness to it. But I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe.